Are you ready to talk?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Shubs.
Yeah. Welcome to the post-match press conference.
Thanks, Shubs.
Just your analysis of the 90 minutes.
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening. Good evening, members of the media. Yeah, frustrating 90 minutes. I still think we did enough to win it. But okay, of course, this is not... the reflection is not about who did enough. It's about what was the score, and at the end is 1-1. So we take the point, and I'm proud of the effort of the players. I think they tried very hard, and unfortunate to concede from a set piece, which was something that we knew they play for. And yeah, we had a lot of chances also in the first half. We struggled a bit with the compactness. We got it better in the second half, but okay, I guess we didn't do enough to get the second. And we move, you know, we can't cry over spilled milk. We've got a very important game on the weekend, so we focus on that now.
Yeah. So go Kens. Good evening, Coach.
Shomtoko?
Yeah. Just Coach, what are the thinking behind the Chapelo Morena sub on the left for Divine?
No, Divine was cramping a little bit towards the end, and I just, you know, Divine's been playing very, very well. And I was just afraid that now going into a period where we've got some important games, he might pull a muscle, you know. So just precaution. That was not... In fact, I wanted to put Tapelo in a higher position. And when Divine made that run 2 minutes before, and then you saw the recovery coming back, I was very scared. And then I couldn't say to Tapelo, sit back down, you know. So I just... And that's the beauty of Morena. You know, I love Taps because he gives you left back, right back, which I don't think are his best positions. And he gives you right wing, left wing, 9, 10, you know, 8 even. So that's the beauty of having a player like Tapelo. But sometimes needs must, and you've got to prioritize, you know, the journey ahead. And Divine is becoming so important for us. I just had to wrap him around in a bit of cotton wool.
Evening, Coach.
No, you can't.
This game is the total opposite of the past 2 league games, Chiba and Amazulu. It looked very, very good in the first half. A bit more patient, and in the second half, it looked like you're rushing the pace.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder, like, well,
we lost a bit of personality, yeah, but that happens, you know, when you lose the cohesion a bit, you know. Mshishi connects us, and Lodge is coming in now a little bit aggressive. You see how many chances Lodge creates. His output is really, really increasing. And I think even Esquivel played well, and just there was a drop. You could see just the match intensity in the second half. But okay, it is like that. We lost a little bit of control also, and we rushed the play, and they also made us uncomfortable. Let's be honest. You know, they ruffled us a little bit. They did. But all right, we move. But I agree, the personality of the team changed a bit in the second half.
Thanks, Troops. I have a follow-up to the question. Sorry, guys. Are you a bit concerned, Coach, with against Pirates? You considered like immediately after you scored, the gap was a bit wider today. But
yeah.
For a team that hasn't been conceding for the entire season, are you not concerned with like conceding just after you play?
Yeah, if it was and also because it's if it's a repeated thing and I pick up a pattern, then I get worried. But I think these are isolated situations, you know, and even though I do get that feeling, and I said to them even at halftime that I got the feeling that we took our foot off the pedal a bit. And funny, this morning we actually were doing a review of Manchester City and Liverpool, and I showed them clips of how when Liverpool were feeling smelling the blood of Man City. They scored with the equalizer, and you could see they was just stepping on the accelerator and going. And I thought we missed that a little bit after we scored. But it's we have to improve. You know, we at the moment everything is perfect. There's no job for the coach. We have to improve. There are things that have to be fixed, and there are problems that have to arise, because that's our work now. You know, we have to analyze, we have to check, we have to see. It's not going to be perfect every match, and but I'm proud of the players. I really am. I'm happy to see Mendieta on the pitch. I'm happy to see Gaston on the pitch again, trying and pushing and pressing, and Esquivel starting and pushing. Wanted to start Tesh, but he's struggling with Ramadan. So we wanted a lot of things. You can't always get them. You know, wanted to start Sipho, but he's struggling with the rhinovirus, so his chest is not too open. He's struggling with his breathing, and we've lost Musa also due to the same. We've got a little bit of a bug going around. But you know, you talk about these things, people say, they're gonna be excuses. But it's just, I'm just trying to give logic and reasoning to some of the decisions, because to make you privy to that. But good, SuperSport fought hard. Let's congratulate them for picking up a point, and good team. Always physicality, set pieces, very difficult. And I watched their last few games. It's not an easy against Amazulu. They in the second half they should have won maybe when they changed into a back three, and they tried to do that against us today with Matodzi and Lyle Lakay reinforcing the defensive line. Baloy very aggressive, Tyson very aggressive, Akon very aggressive, and then when he finishes the game, he puts Keegan Allen a bit to solidify. So that's how they play, you know. So. And I don't really remember, apart from the set pieces, any box entries and clear situations from them. But that's football, you know. If you don't take your chances, with a good ball from Zungu to Lodge, possible. A couple of other situations in the first half with Lodge could have finished also before even the penalty shout. He needs to take it with his right foot. But okay, good. We are getting there. And it's at the right time, to be honest, to try to make sure everyone is ready to play.
Coach, mine is a bit of a follow-up to Ken's, because I think from minute 765 to 85, there were so many opportunities where Divine could get behind, and I understand you speak about the Sundowns personality.
Yeah.
Is there ever a temptation, and I think we've spoken about this before, a temptation to say that sometimes maybe the cross allows cross, even if it's not a back pass and then there's another pass where you can just take an opportunity, because Divine could have crossed, I think, about 3 times, didn't.
To who, though?
Wasn't there another?
I thought we don't have. I wish we had, you know. I wish we had that type of finisher. We don't have a Bradley Grobler. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult. You've got to. Lodge crossed one in the first half.
So
yeah, and then what happened? We've conceded so many goals last season from counter-attacks from the cross. The only situation we cannot press, and it's the only one, is when the keeper has the ball and he catches it from across. We can't. The rules don't allow us to press. And so we lose 1 or 2 possibilities to win the ball closer to the box when he catches, and then he looks and he distributes deeper. And then we've got to defend in a different way, and not the way we want to defend. We don't want to defend that way with our backs chasing but if we had that type of striker to finish those situations, we would put. But it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. But it is what we, and you know, today we don't score, but how many goals have we scored? So it happens in football, you know. There's games you score more, you don't score enough, you know, and it's difficult, you know. It's a difficult time to, you're bringing in new players, you're trying to help them get their feet. Esquivel, I'm trying to make him get his feet and fast track his transition into the team and his adaptation. It's not going to happen overnight. It has to. It's a process, and there's a certain way that we have to try to develop this thing. And then you don't have Lucas, who really we've been so strong around, and he's built such a good relationship with Peter. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Is the type of cross, and Divine played one or two. Is the type of cross. But yeah, the one there is difficult because the advantage is for the keeper, and then the advantage is for the defending team and not Sundowns, and for many reasons. So yeah.
Coach, how pleasing is it to see Debza getting the goals that he's getting? I mean, we know the potential he has from range, but I think there's been a while. And as should be predicted, your thoughts on the Champions League game?
Debza, I think the you got to give also the team a bit, because they are braver, and they have to be braver, because when Zungu steps into the next line, you and then Ronza has to play a little bit more higher. And because Zungu is in the next line, it frees Debza up a little bit more, and Zungu, apart from maybe one or two errors against Chippa in the first half, the role he's playing at the moment is unbelievable. Even with box entries, Bongani Zungu is getting 3 or 4 box entries in 90 minutes. And that's really Bongani Zungu deserves a little bit more credit than he gets, because I think Bongs is playing very, very well. Today he was good, I think. Against Chippa, not so good, but it's because the level with the last 2 or 3 games is set the standard very, very high. And in a moment where we were struggling to find something that could create us more overloads. But yeah, Debza is good. Debza is very good. Takes leadership, helps the team a little bit more. I think we missed Marcelo a little bit today, too wide, longer distances with the midfield. Couldn't control the tempo. But okay, good. Some of the things we will improve. You're right, Collie. Some of the things will improve and get better. And I'm happy for Debza. I'm happy now 2 men of the match awards. The noise around Debza must also a little bit, Debza proves, Debza, the quality. AFCON, he proves the people, I'm at this level, He comes, he plays the games, he gets on with the job. You ask him to be a controlling 6, he gives you ask him to be a box-to-box, he gives you, he's got so much that he offers to our team, and I'm very happy for him, because he's a good person, very good person, and incredible footballer. My thoughts on the Champions League draw, I'm not so sure yet. My focus was, of course, I watched the draw, and but I don't have immediate thoughts, because I've got to watch the opponent closely. I've watched all the opponents. I've watched all the games in the Champions League, but I've watched as a coach, and not as an analyst. And now I have to switch. Unfortunately, I've got a nice FIFA break where my focus will be just on Yanga, and I will go as far back as I possibly can and try to see the profile. They've got a good coach in Coach Miguel Gamondi. He was at Sundowns, so and very organized, very good structure. And so let's see. Before I jump into any sort of conclusions, because now I've got to now focus a bit on the next game, which is Maritzburg. It's a tough one, when the tough ones are when everyone expects you to win. Those ones are the toughest, And you have to just see the recent results where the teams were expected to win in the cup games, in the league games. The teams drop points. And everyone says, Cape Town Spurs, but it's then the pressure is on the other teams to beat them. They play a bit freer, and it Chiefs you saw the last round. So it's tough, and we have to just make sure we get the tactics right and get the mental space and bounce back from a disappointing result, and just motivate the guys to get into the right space.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
How far is Bongani Zungu from his very best? And also, what sort of role do you anticipate him playing in the Champions League going forward?
How far is he from his very best? I don't think he's very far, but I still don't think we've seen the best of him. I don't think he's very far. And it's for many reasons. I'll tell you another thing. Last game we played Chippa, and because we didn't have a midweek game, we had that game against TS Galaxy postponed. And normally we have corrections from one game to the next. And to my surprise, him and Lebo Mabue said, can we do corrections of Amazulu again? And that Amazulu was 2 or 3 games before that. And so professionalism, the leadership, the personality, out of the pitch. There's things you don't see. There's so many things. It's like Ronwen's personality doesn't need the armband to be a captain. Pushing, encouraging, supporting, So we are very privileged to have this group of players, I must tell you. We are very, very privileged. And we have to try to build the team, When you build a team, it's layer by layer, step by step. It's not boom, already you've got a top team, because Chelsea are a good example. They go and they get so many superstars, so many good players, but to integrate them into making it a team, because there's so many things that go into the team, And when I said to people, they ask me, where do you see Tesh playing? And I said to them, I'm not sure yet. Because when you look at Tesh at Ajax 10 in a 4-3-3, there's a kid in the academy. He goes overseas, he starts to play on the side because of his structure, because he doesn't have the physicality. So he's an inverted winger. He's a 10, but he comes from the left and he comes inside. We don't have an inverted winger at Sundowns, but we've got a 10, but we've also got wide strikers. So you have to see where do the dynamics fit in, and what are his qualities best suited when we play against who and how and with who does he play with, and the chemistry that develops. And that chemistry is chemistry that when you see them sitting, how do they interact with each other at the dinner table, at the breakfast table? You see them in the bus. Who does he choose to sit with? So these small things, in the rondos, you look. Who does he pair himself with? Who does he press with? Who does he help and assist when this one loses the ball, he's quick to jump and support and press, and this one. And so these things are people think that you coach from a distance. It's impossible, because it's so many things, so many things. And you see it even today. You see it. You see when you make the subs, you see the body language, and you've got to, hey, come, let's go, believe in each other also, try with these ones. And then they've got to also do something to okay, good, okay, good. Even when he's pressed, I can give him the ball because I can trust him, But that develops, his trust but we'll get there. We're trying to build a very strong team for many, many, many years. Many years. And when you do that, you try to step by step, piece by piece, and then when this piece is in, you've got to go next piece, and next thing, and next, and eventually you've got a much stronger team. But it needs patience, You've got to be patient, because otherwise you rush. I was saying to the players today, what I was saying to the players? I said, remember during COVID what happened? The world was quiet, and God fixed a lot of things. All of a sudden, National Geographic is saying, the waves are a lot cleaner and even rising to a higher level. No, it's true. They said the air was a lot fresher. Yeah, because there's less pollution. It got to be recycled and clean. All of a sudden, you started seeing new birds coming. And they say, "Oh, but we've never seen this type of bird before." There's a bird that comes and says, "Oh, there's a new species. Oh, there's new insects. There's the animals now come out also," and they say, and now all of a sudden in Kempton Park you're finding lions. Where did these things happen? Because it's not everything is fast, and God says, "Hey, quieten down and slow down." And you guys, you rush everything. We live in a society now where it's instant. Everything is instant, but some things like developing team dynamics and creating a strong team, those things, it's process. No matter how fast I can feed my girlfriend or my wife when she's pregnant, it has to take 9 months. No matter how much protein I can give for the baby to develop faster, it has to take 9 months. That is the process, and it's the same with a team. And to build a team is step by step process, step by step, and we are trying our level best, and the players are trying, and as long as we keep to the process, we'll get there. By the time we get to Club World Cup, this team will be a lot stronger than we think they are now, of course, because we will develop, the characters develop, the players improve, Zuko gets better, Sailor is back, Mvala is back, the competition and training is stimulated, and the play, Lucas is fitter and stronger, the muscles have more integrity because now he's played more games, and he wasn't used to this thing. So Esquivel will be a little bit better, more confident, more and Lodge will have found his feet. This is my space. This is how I operate in this. When I play with Mshishi, when I play with Marcelo, when I play with Devza, when I play with Esquivel, when I play with Gaston, So they will get there. It's and we've got so many good youngsters also. Mabena, you mustn't forget. They there, but you can't rush this thing. When you rush this thing, you destroy it. Speed kills, and there's a reason why speed kills.
We'll take the last two questions. You have a follow-up?
No, it's a different matter.
Okay, last three, then you can have it, and have Ashad and Utlaitwala.
So I can go now.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, coach, it's completely unrelated. Bernard Parker is going back to full training. You always talk about good human beings and kind of stuff, and I guess it's the same with you. I'm sure you must be happy that after the unfortunate situation that happened, he's back on his feet and he's been cleared to go back to full training.
Yep. And he's a good guy, and I wish him everything of the best, and he knows that. So I'm probably the only coach that gets asked about players that get injured against. But it's true. It is true. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Expected to apologize, but I love Bernard, and let's leave it at that. And I wish him everything of the best.
Still zooming in.
No, he's finding the courage. I know he's got a few questions in his head. He said, "No, he is."
No, I was just fascinated by the geography that you took us through, Coach. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
There's a lot of elements that are needed for Sundowns to play beautiful football. I think I walked through, on the pitch, on the side, because I'm not. The pitch looked a bit heavy. Did that, also condemn you guys to not playing as beautiful as you guys normally do, a bit of extra touches? And secondly, Zungu once again, what has changed for him? He looks at different players. My colleagues have said, puff of the cheeks, chest out as well, a lot of confidence. What exactly has made him to be a new type of player?
No, I don't even think I think he's settled. Time. It's the same thing as time. You know, he comes from a different space. He struggled with injuries. He's struggled with confidence. He has to adapt now, come back to South Africa, find his way at Sundowns. And find his way at Sundowns, imagine, when you left Sundowns, he was a big player, let's be honest. And he went overseas. He goes overseas, he starts to play against Verratti, he plays against PSG, these type of games. And then he has to come back after a failed move. And fortunately, I've spent a lot of time with Bongs. I've known Bongs since he was here. And when he was in France at Amiens, I spent 10 days. And Bongs is such a good guy. He paid for my expenses in France. I got time to watch his training sessions, to meet his coaches, to interrogate the work that they were. I stayed in their video sessions. And then you have to come back. Now you have to. I was a big player at Sundowns, and now where am I? You know, within the dynamics, and that takes time. And so, but I think he's found a little bit of his place in the hierarchy, and he's accepted the role he has to play, because he has to play maybe even a bigger role and a more senior role than he played when he was here before, where he was under the leadership of Teko, under the leadership of Hlompo, and now he's going to give the leadership, you know. So it's not easy. It's the same with Mshishi. Mshishi this season is a very difficult season for Shiga, because he's got a lead now. He's got the armband. He's not following, and he's not playing. At Bafana, you see, Shiga plays. He's free. He dances. He moves. Now he's got to think about other things. He's got to think about the team. He prioritizes others. He's even off the pitch. He's got to make sure this guy is all right. This guy is okay. This guy is, and those things are. It's not easier. It's really, really not easy. So it's time. That's the only answer. Is there's no magic formula. It's time, and I still don't think we've seen the best of Bongs yet. But with time, we'll see an even better Bongs, because he'll adapt, he'll settle, he'll be more confident, he'll understand that even when I make against Chip, I had to say to him, listen, you made that mistake, and now it's sitting on you. Now why you have to play? Why you have to play with the pressure of the mistake? When other players make mistakes, it's forgotten and they move on. Why you want to carry this extra luggage on your thing? Yeah, let's leave it, because I was gonna go into Formula One, because there's a nice interview I saw. It's crazy. I always put these other sports, and I look at basketball, Formula One. I look at life, even in general, and I say, how can I put this into football? You know. And Lewis Hamilton was saying the same thing. He says, if I carry extra weight on my body into the car, I'm going to lose. I'm going to be slower. And it's the same. If players carry extra burdens on their shoulders, of course they're not going to play well. And so they've got to be free. And I said to him, listen, make another mistake. And when they ask you, say it's Coach Rulani's fault. Put me in the fire. No problem. You know, so once they play with a bit more freedom, and that's what Zungu is trying to find. But he'll be fine. He's a big boy, and a good human being too. And a lot of them are, to be honest, most of them in this group, majority. We've got a very good group, and I cannot make any complaints about that.
Coach, I think the initial question as well was that the synopsis of the pitch, was it beautiful?
No. I don't want to talk about the pitch, because you know how it is. Excuses. No, not talk about the pitch. We drew the game because we drew the game, and SuperSport did well to make us uncomfortable in most of the moments, and that's no excuses.
Tricky for mine, because mine just come as that an excuse, which I don't think is or should be. But I don't know if you can ask about the game where the coaches were asked about, because I would think in analysis you guys are
sure.
that you
Yeah.
use just about anything to win a game.
For sure.
Obviously the transcript of the law, but how much does it planning around, say, match officials? Because you know them, they've been around, you anticipate certain things. this one sometimes because personality.
Of course.
So I want to understand that how much of that does it factor into your analysis that Kent is going to be the ref today. He's short-tempered.
No, it's true.
Can't see might just
That's a literal example.
might just miss one or two, fouls. Sambadele is my elder. You get my point.
No, I get you.
Yes.
No, but you are right.
So I want to understand that, how much gets in, and also when things like what happened today happen and, you spend so much of your time remonstrating and so on, how much does it take from you and the players as they try to get on with their business?
Yeah.
Maybe use the massage one as an example.
No, because I think your starting point was very, very good. I think, you see, we are, and that's the unfortunate part. And actually, I liked what Jose Riviero said in one of the interviews, actually. And he said, the referees are not going to be in my next training session. I actually liked that answer. And I think that should be maybe the adoption, because in answering your question, and in a very polite way, I don't know if you get me, because I don't think, Skepe, we are in an environment that is very conducive to that type of discussion, an honest, frank discussion about that. But I don't think we've and to be honest, and really, really like Jose Riviero said at Pirates, he said, and when you can't control it, so why focus on it, So I like some of the I listen to a lot of things, I listen, and still one of my dreams is to be Ernst Middendorf's assistant. Really, it's one of my dreams, because I wanna. I phone him a lot. He knows I phone him. I just talk to him, just to talk to him, because I like him. I like how he thinks. I like how he sees things. He's just. And since he's come back from he had that stint in Thailand, his way of seeing things is amazing, So and it's still one of my dreams, I must tell you, to be his assistant coach. And no, honestly, and he said something the other day. Says he doesn't think we have colleagues in South Africa. I would hope he considers me a colleague, because I really, really do admire him a lot, so much.
So sorry, Coach. So when you say, because when a player is not playing well, and we say we don't have he's not.
But who's responsible for that? To say the referee did not do well. It's not the coaches.
No, true. Sorry.
Yeah.
My
struggling.
So it's a small thing, man. Because how it has to be somewhat of a hindrance, because if everybody else has to improve and the game has to improve, then the honest conversation needs to take place.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you shouldn't say and quote and say, Coach Rulani says the referees must improve. No, don't. You must quote me and say, Coach Rulani said the referee is not going to be part of his training session, and therefore, and I steal the quote, and I'm 100%, I tell you, it's not my quote, I liked it, and so I steal it, and I use it to answer your question, and to protect myself, because I have to, guys. I don't have to tell you, Skepe, I sneeze, bad manners. Coach Rulani, bad manners during press conference. Guys, he sneezes like Pep, yeah. You see, and you must say it's your quote. It's not my quote, it's your quote. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers.